What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. We're continuing the theme of Zombies Chronicles. Hopefully you guys are still as hyped as I am, because I am super pumped for Tuesday. I am so ready to play all these maps and relive the classic moments that I've loved for so long. But in this one, we're going to be continuing what we've been doing the past couple of days and taking a look at some changes at the newest map that has been showcased. In accordance with the embargo, YouTubers that were out in LA ended up putting up footage of Ascension today, showing off 15 minutes of gameplay here and there from their perspectives and their playthroughs on Ascension. As I feel I need to mention, with the past couple of ones, a lot of you guys tweeted me asking if I was out there. I did not go, so that kind of alters how we have to approach these 5 things, simply because it's mostly going to be verbal information rather than on-screen examples, save maybe a screenshot or two here and there, because I was not out there to sign the NDAs to get the rights to redistribute the footage. So all that said, hopefully you guys can bear with that. Hopefully you guys understand the reasoning behind maybe the lack of imagery and visuals on screen for you guys, but hopefully you guys are still excited. Once again, a huge thank you for the support on the last 2 episodes. You guys killed it. So if you guys are hyped for this, you guys are hyped for Zombies Chronicles and are interested in seeing these changes, drop a like down below. I don't usually ask for that, but I'm really curious to see if you guys are enjoying the series and if you guys want to see more of these continued. But all that said, either way, let's jump right into our 5 things here at this one. Firstly, I feel it's only fitting to start at the very beginning of Ascension. The first thing that a lot of people noticed their first playthrough ever on Ascension back in Black Ops 1 is that when you take the lander down and you get right into your starting area and you can jump right into the game, everything's in black and white. That's been slightly changed around in Black Ops 3's version within Zombies Chronicles. It's no longer completely black and white, it's just more of a less saturated, almost sepia type of vibe in terms of a filter on the lighting. So whenever you turn the power on, everything does go back to normal, everything goes back to that normal lighting, but it's no longer completely black and white. There is still traces of color, the red being the thing that probably stands out the most amongst that, but instead of it being completely drowned out, it's just less saturated and once again, a little bit of a sepia vibe. Take that how you will. I personally think it's alright. Black and white was always the thing, but I'm personally not too affected by some slight color still, despite the power not being on in Ascension. But number 2 up on the list deals with something that has been around for a little bit in terms of Call of Duty, but never been in Ascension because it was introduced in Black Ops 2, that being the Wonder Fizz. So for those of you guys that don't know what the Wonder Fizz is, it's basically a random roulette of getting a perk. You pay 1,500 points, and thus far in Black Ops 3, what you can get out of it is Juggernog, Double Tap, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, Mule Kick, Stamina Up, Deadshot Daiquiri, Electric Cherry, and Widow's Wine. And if you know how any of those perks work, some of them are below the threshold of 1,500 points, some of them are above 1,500 points, and well over that in some cases. So it's kind of a gamble, but you can end up getting a random perk here out of it, and it's something that you might save some points in the process. But the Wonder Fizz was never in Ascension because once again it was introduced later in Black Ops 2, but it's now coming back and is a feature added into Ascension and should be able to help out some players in terms of maybe gathering some extra perks, getting some perks that may not be used to, or just trying to play that once again roulette gamble game in terms of saving some points and getting what you really wanted. So I'll be interested to see how this changes the meta of Ascension, but I certainly think this is a nice addition. I have no objection to it. But moving along to number 3, we're going to talk a little bit about some differences in the power room, and this is one that's kind of a 2-for-1 here in this one, because there were 2 things that really caught my attention in the remastered version of Ascension in Zombies Chronicles. So for those of you guys that know where the power is, it's a rooftop flat essentially, where the power is on one side, the box is on another. There's a window, there's a cage that you can see and look over at the rocket at the edge of the map, and there's just a bunch of different things here that you probably know and love at this point. But the first change that I noticed immediately was that the glass is not intact whenever you look at the wall that the box is on. That previously was a full pane of glass, something that you could look at that wall, but now that the glass is broken and gone, you can now see through entirely to this, the outside courtyard just below and the rest of the map and the peripherals there within. The second change here at this one is actually a very cool addition, I think, and one that I'm very fond of and quite enjoy. Whenever you first enter into the power room, if you end up playing this for yourself, if you look up, you'll be able to see a broken down lander on top of the power room, hung up by the metal crossbeams running from each of the ends of the room. So it's simply just hanging there, and in reality, if this was something that was architecturally structured as such, the lander would probably fall on and crush either some zombie or a player below it if it were in, once again, a real scenario. But it's not. But that is kind of 2 changes here in the power room that I absolutely loved and I really think are nice aesthetic changes here to this. The fourth change up on the list here today deals with something that a lot of people go back to lore when trying to describe. Richtofen in Ascension actually does not have a spacesuit on in this. A lot of people really thought this had some super deep meaning here, that it connected from Moon to Ascension because he had the spacesuit on, he was going directly to Moon after Ascension, things like that. But theory aside, it was never really explained in its entirety, or at least if it has, it's escaped my memory at the moment. But the Ultimus version in this remaster of Ascension is donned in his Nazi German attire. No spacesuit here, just simply what we would see, say, on Keynote or Toten, the very beginnings of Black Ops 1, and the attire that he had in that map. So maybe whether or not clearing up canon or just something they wanted to use the models that they have imported for all the other maps and not have to either custom create or rather import a specific model for Richtofen. Who knows the reasoning behind it, but simply this version of Ascension does not feature our spacesuits on Richtofen, and personally I didn't really look to see if there were spacesuits on any of the other characters, but for the most part the big lore and kind of concept behind Ascension was that Richtofen was the main focal point of that whole conspiracy, if you want to put it that way. I don't even know if you can describe it as such with the spacesuits. So no longer in this one, but that leads us into the fifth and final change here within this episode of the 5 things that changed, and this actually deals with the sickle and its knife animation. So for those of you guys that don't know, Ascension had a melee weapon that you could purchase off the wall. It was by one of the lander locations over by where Speed Cola was. That lander over there, once again, had the sickle available for wall buy, but whenever you ended up using it, back in Black Ops 1, it came in from the side like a standard melee would previously. It would go cut across your body and basically take the same amount of time as a standard melee would. However, in the Black Ops 3 version, with the new upcoming version here to PlayStation 4 in a couple of days, it now comes up and over seemingly, almost like the sickle in Modern Warfare Remastered's animation. Very similar to that, it seems like. It's a lot faster, but it seems like the lunge and the pull and recovery is faster initially, but then a bit slower afterwards because it almost has that hook effect where it lunges quite fast so you can get the attack off quickly, but it kind of stays there for a split second, if that makes sense. So that animation is once again nice that it is quicker, but it also kind of gets stuck there, so it might end up trapping a player if they are, say, in a horde and end up going for a lunge kill with the sickle. But that said, that is going to conclude the 5 changes here within this episode of the 5 things that changed on Ascension from Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 3 in terms of the First Strike DLC all the way up until now in Zombies Chronicles, debuting this coming Tuesday, May 16th for PlayStation 4 users. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and that said, if you guys did, drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Which of these changes were your favorite? Have you guys noticed any other ones? And do you guys want to see these continue here for the next couple of days while we still get more early access footage from these other YouTubers? Any and all comments are welcomed, and of course, moving on, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. You guys crushed the goal yesterday that we set of 250, so let's try and bump that up a little bit now, say maybe 300. Let's test our luck a little bit here at this one. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like down below, and if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Zombies Chronicles, the 5 things that changed, comparing the maps, and anything really regarding Modern Warfare Remastered, Call of Duty World War II, Infinite Warfare, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But I'll see you guys later. Thank you dudes so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. My name is Nikolai Espresso. Take care, and peace.